today's ceremony. Before the ceremony starts in a few minutes, here's what everyone needs to know. You can take pictures of your friends and family, but please stay in your seats. The aisles must remain clear at all times. Please follow guidance from staff if an emergency situation arises. In case of an emergency, please remain calm and welcome, there is room. Developed and produced.
Miigwech Janda Iek.
Kwe Pidashin, Anishinaabe Aki.
Bien avant que ces terres ne soient connues sous le nom de Canada, elles étaient le territoire des peuples autochtones, Premières Nations, Métis et Inuits.
There are more than 600 First Nations communities from coast to coast to coast in Canada. Some of us live on our reserves set aside for our nations, and others live in towns and cities. Bien que chaque Première Nation a une langue, des cérémonies et des croyances différentes, la plupart de nos systèmes de croyances reposent sur le concept de l'équilibre. Nous croyons que tout être vivant doit travailler à maintenir un système équilibré. Les Métis sont un peuple distinct, d'ascendance mixte, soit autochtone et européenne, tirant son origine du commerce des fourrures au 18e et 19e siècle. Les unions entre les explorateurs européens et les femmes de Première Nation visaient
Peoples alongside all Canadians. En prêtant le serment de citoyenneté, vous vous engagez à respecter la Constitution du Canada qui reconnaît et confirme les droits ancestraux et issus de traités des Premières Nations, des Métis et des Inuits. Qu'est-ce que cela signifie pour vous en tant que...
Thank you very much, everybody. Good morning and welcome. Did you all have a happy Canada Day last week, July the 1st? Canada is now 157 years old, which I know is relatively young compared to many of the nations that you're from. But for us, it's still a major achievement. One of the most important points we celebrate on Canada is really the diversity of this country. It's really what's made this country grow and prosper, along with the indigenous peoples from across the country, coast to coast to coast, who've lived here really for several thousand years. Our diversity, Canada's diversity, is really, as you can appreciate, probably not only one of our strengths, it's probably our greatest strength as well. But anyways, this is the day you've had circled on your calendar for the last few weeks, maybe the last few months, and for good reason, because I know you're going to remember this day for a very, very long time. Personally, I think you're going to remember this day for the rest of your life. I hear this from people who've gone through the ceremony years ago, decades ago, and they tell me they remember the day they became a Canadian, just like it was yesterday. So this is the day, July the 9th, 2024. Next year, on July the 9th, 2025, I promise you, you're going to stop for a moment, probably every July 9th from now on, and you're going to say, hey, July the 9th, this is the day I became a Canadian. This is the day my life changed. And it's going to change for the better, and it's going to change forever. So, finally stopped raining in the province. It was getting a little down, but the summer's finally here, the hot weather's here, kids are going to school. All good news. And in just a few moments, even better news, you're all going to be part of the Canadian family. On behalf of the Government of Canada, it's my great pleasure, really my honor, to extend a very sincere and heartfelt welcome to all of you, all 80 of you that are becoming Canadian citizens today. Now, if you have friends and family here with you, I think some of you do, I want to extend a very sincere and warm welcome to all of you as well. We're delighted to have you here as well. Obviously, this is a very important day for you and for your family. This is what I would call a milestone in your life. A milestone. The reason I say that is that this is a one-off. You will never have another day like this in your life. I can promise you that. This is it. This is the day your lives are going to change. As I said, it's going to change for the better. I want to begin today's ceremony by acknowledging that, of course, this ceremony is originating in Winnipeg. We are on Treaty 1 land. It's the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Ojibwe, the Dakota, and the Dene peoples. It's all the homeland of the Métis Nation. You know, as Canadians, we are all living on the traditional territory of Indigenous people. It's true. And it's essential that we acknowledge our country's past and move towards a new nation-to-nation relationship with Indigenous peoples based on inherent rights, based on respect, and also based on partnership. I mean, the most impressive countries in the world. I couldn't agree more. So you have two quotes from two people who in their own right made a very significant impact on the world. One word I've often used to describe Canada and Canadians has to do with the word freedom. Freedom's an interesting word, really, because in truth, it probably means something a little bit different to each and every one of us that's in this room here today. However, as you embrace and celebrate the new freedoms you're about to receive as a Canadian, I want you to always remember, and please never, ever forget this one point. The freedom we have and the freedom that you are about to receive as a Canadian is not free at all. It was paid for. Believe me, it was paid for. Canada played a major role in both world wars, in the Korean War, in the Afghanistan War, and in many, many peacekeeping initiatives that have happened over the past several decades. In fact, over 110,000 Canadian military personnel lost their lives in those battles, and their final resting places are found in 78 different countries around the world. Safe to say that some of them could be buried in the very nations you've come from. In Winnipeg, just behind Red River College, just off Notre Dame and Kenaston, just in behind Red River College is a cemetery known as Brookside Cemetery. It is one of the largest, if not the largest, military cemetery in this entire nation. There you'll find the graves of over 11,000 military personnel, brave men and women who with courage, dignity, and sacrifice served this nation. So that's Brookside Cemetery, just behind Red River College. And of course, let's never forget the brave men and women in our emergency and protective services who literally put their lives on the line for us every single day, 365 days of the year. As was mentioned just at the start of the ceremony, my name is Dwight McCauley, and I have the very distinct pleasure and really the honor to preside over today's Canadian citizenship ceremony. Until not that long ago, I served the government people that you are a Canadian. You're a Canadian. Be as proud of this country as this country now is of each and every one of you. And before you came to Canada, I bet you looked at a map of the world many times and you see Canada, and you're looking at Canada and you say, wow, Canada, it's a big country, it's a big place. Canada is a big country, and it is a big, very big place. It really is. Canada is the second largest country on Earth. Second largest country on Earth, but you know what? We have less than 1% of the world's population. Think about that for just a moment. We are the second largest country on Earth, and yet we have less than 1% of the world's population. You know, right now, at this very second, there are over 8 billion people breathing air on this planet. That number is almost unconscionable. Can't comprehend how many people that is, over 8 billion. That's something you know, and you've known this in your heart for some time. Most of those people would give anything. They would literally give anything to trade places with you right here, right now, because you're about to become a Canadian. Did you know that Canada is the only country in the world, that has actually accepted and welcomed new citizens from every other country that exists in the world today? Only one nation in the entire world can say that. It's this one, it's Canada. And I can tell you as a Canadian, it's something very proud of. You know, becoming a Canadian is something very special. With this honor comes privileges. Now, you already know that. But becoming a Canadian also comes with responsibilities. And number one on the list is obeying the law. We expect you to obey the laws of this nation. We expect you also to take responsibility for yourself and for your family. And we also want you to help us. Help us in protecting our heritage and our environment. And if you're able, we also want you to consider helping others in your community. And I'll come to that last point in just a moment. You know, becoming a Canadian is more than a technical qualification for getting a new passport or being able to vote, for qualifying for employment. As a Canadian, you have a right to live free of discrimination and persecution. You can express your opinion without fear. You can practice your religious faith. And you do have a right to work in any province or territory in this country. By the way, this is a holiday in Nunavut today, the newest territory in Canada. It's 25 years old today. Now, I'm looking at the Nunavut flag. You don't have to get up and look, but I'll tell you on the way out, it's right above the doors. That's the flag of Nunavut. So if you're from Nunavut, congratulations. If you're going to Nunavut, hey, it's their birthday today. Tell them happy birthday. Bilingual nation offering federal government services in both official languages, English and French. Every person has a right to use either English or French in a federal court. Canadians also have certain rights concerning the education of their children in either English or French. Now, all Canadian citizens share these rights and these freedoms, and each is equal before the law without exception, based on sex, national or ethnic origin, race, religion, age, or mental or physical disability. Did you know that over half of all the adults in Canada at some point in their life will volunteer to help in their community? It's true. Over half of all the adults in Canada at some point in their life will volunteer to help out. Now, if you're already a volunteer, thank you. Congratulations. Keep it up. Don't stop. In fact, next time you're volunteering somewhere, bring a friend. I can promise you 2 volunteers are better than 1. I can also promise you this. There's no shortage of worthy causes or events in your community that wouldn't welcome your help and support with open arms. You have a lot to offer. You do. You have a lot to offer. Share your talents. Share your strengths. And share your culture. Yes, share your culture and work towards building an even better Canada. You can do that, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can. I also know that all of you waited anxiously for this day to arrive. But as you prepare to say the oath of citizenship, you need to take what you're saying to heart, because these are not merely words we are asking you to repeat. When you say the oath of citizenship, you are declaring your loyalty to Canada, and from this moment, to always do your best for Canada. Now, the wording to the oath of citizenship has been changed recently in response to the call to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada. The new wording includes references to Canada's Constitution and the Aboriginal and treaty rights of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. As Canadians, we all share a responsibility to respect and affirm the rights of Indigenous peoples. Now, before we say the oaths, the clerk has some very important words of instruction for you.
Thank you. Oath of citizenship. All candidates who are 14 years of age and older are required to take the oath. If there is raise their right hand and repeat the oath if they wish. It is a demonstration of your commitment to Canada, but it will not not make you Canadian if you are not one already. Mr. McCauley, the candidates for citizenship are ready to repeat the oath of citizenship.
Okay, thanks very much. Just before we start, I'm going to ask everybody in the room, I would like you all to stand and say this is citizenship. We'll become new citizens. Let's all stand. And I'm going to give you two good reasons why. Number one, you're going to feel better when you leave here today. And number two, you're actually just going to walk a little taller. Honest to God, it's the truth. You'll walk a little taller knowing that you have just reaffirmed your citizenship in one of the greatest countries on earth. And you know what? How lucky are we? And I say that with all sincerity from the bottom of my heart. How lucky are we that everybody in this room, we get to call this beautiful nation. Please repeat after me. I swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of Canada, including the Constitution, which recognizes and affirms the Aboriginal and treaty rights of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Now we're going to say in French. Et successeurs que je observerai who is you that date des premières nations et des obligations citoyennes If you have a chance today, I'd like you to connect virtually or in person if that's possible. I don't know if it's possible here or not, but connect with friends and family that couldn't be with you today because I know they would appreciate it. This is a milestone that's happened to you this time. This really is a milestone. You'll never have another day like this in your life. Why not let the people you care about, friends and family or whoever, and let them be part of this very special ceremony with you today. As I say goodbye, I just want to say thank you, Merci, and make which sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I really enjoyed meeting all of you and being with you today. Now, as it is such a special day, I want you all to go out there and have a great day today. I mean, honestly, if you think of a better way to have a great day than becoming a Canadian here in Winnipeg, it's fantastic. So do that. Have a great day for the rest of the day. Thank you.
And your journey here is unique. Whether you came here to safely reconnect with family, just to start a new life, you are now an equal member of our country. And as Canadians, we share responsibilities to look out for one another, to welcome those who are new here, and to respect those who are indigenous to this land, and always to leave our communities better than we found it. So as you continue your life here, remember this way, and you became a citizen. And think about everything you can do every day forward to strengthen them. Congratulations again, and welcome. Félicitations, vous êtes maintenant officiellement Canadien et Canadienne. Et vous avez tous suivi un parcours unique pour venir jusqu'ici. Que vous soyez venus pour trouver la sécurité, pour rejoindre votre famille ou pour commencer une nouvelle vie, vous êtes, à partir de maintenant, un membre à part entière de notre pays. Et en tant que Canadiens, nous avons tous des responsabilités communes. Nous veillons les uns sur les autres. Nous accueillons les nouveaux arrivants et respectons les autochtones de notre pays. Et nous travaillons ensemble pour améliorer nos communautés pour les générations futures. Alors que vous poursuivez votre vie ici, souvenez-vous toujours de ce jour où vous êtes devenus des citoyens et citoyennes. Et pensez à tout ce que vous pouvez faire chaque jour qui vient pour rendre notre pays encore meilleur. Félicitations encore et
who contributed to this ceremony. This citizenship ceremony is now closed. Please remain standing while the presiding official exits the stage. You may now be seated.